The Stephens-Townsend-Murphy Party consisted of 10 families who migrated from Iowa to California prior to the Mexican-American War, the California Gold Rush. The Stephens Party is significant in California history because they were the first wagon train to cross the Sierra Nevada during the expansion of the American West in 1844. They pioneered the first route at or near what was later named Donner Pass. The crossing was a year before Fremont, 2 years before the Donner Party, and 5 years before the 1848–49 Gold Rush. History: the 50-member Stephens group left near present-day Council Bluffs, Iowa on May 22, 1844. They departed with a larger group of Oregon-bound settlers in a train of 40 wagons. 50 travelers left Iowa, 52 arrived in Sacramento with the Stephens Party, as there were 2 births along the way. Elisha Stephens was elected captain of the wagon train because he had spent several years as a mountain man and beaver hunter in the Pacific Northwest. He also had skills as a blacksmith. He had worked at the Potawatomi Council Bluffs U.S. Indian Sub-Agency before resigning to go to California. Dr. John Townsend, his wife Elizabeth, and her younger brother Moses Schallenberger were also going west. A man of vision, Townsend wanted a chance at grand adventure and opportunity in California. He would become the first licensed physician in California. The largest family group in the party was headed by Martin Murphy, Sr. His family had 23 members. As Irish Catholics, the Murphy family, along with the Martin and Sullivan families, were seeking religious, economic, and political freedoms in the West. The group included James Miller, an Irishman, who would marry Martin Murphy, Sr.'s third daughter and settle at Rancho San Pedro, Santa Margarita y las Galanas near San Rafael. The party was guided by mountain men Caleb Greenwood and Isaac Hitchcock. In Wyoming, Hitchcock, who had been trapping and trading in California in 1832, led the party west from the Big Sandy River to the Green River by passing Fort Bridger. The cutoff was dangerous, as it crossed 40 miles without water for livestock, but it cut 85 miles and 7 days off the established route. The cutoff was later popularized in a guidebook and used heavily by miners heading to the California Gold Rush. Upon reaching Truckee's Lake on November 14, 1844, the party left 6 of their 11 wagons because of difficulties getting the wagons over the pass. 18-year-old Moses Schallenberger spent the winter watching over the wagons, surviving only by trapping High Sierra foxes for food. The rest of the party spent the winter in the upper Yuba River Valley, until most of the men were enticed to fight with Captain John Sutter for Mexican California Governor Manuel Michel Torrena in exchange for promises of land grants. Instead of joining them, Dennis Martin returned to the upper Yuba with supplies for the women and children. Upon learning of the plight of Moses Schallenberger, 23-year-old Martin crossed the snowbound Sierra Nevada in midwinter to rescue Schallenberger at Donner Lake. Martin showed Schallenberger how to construct proper snowshoes, and successfully the two recrossed the Sierras to the Central Valley. Elisha Stephens settled in the San Jose, Cupertino area, where Stephens Creek is named for him. In 1862, he left the area, heading to Kern County in Central California. He was the first non-native settler in what is today the city of Bakersfield. A state historic plaque in that city marks the approximate site of his homestead. Stephens died in Bakersfield in 1887. He was buried in Union Cemetery. His gravesite was discovered in 2009 by members of the Kern County Genealogical Society. On May 1, 2010, the Oregon-California Trails Association California, Nevada chapter, in cooperation with the Kern County Historical Society, installed a historical plaque at the gravesite of Elisha Stephens. In 1846, Martin Murphy Sr. purchased the Rancho Ojo del Agua de la Concha. Son Martin Murphy Jr. was the founder of the city of Sunnyvale. Sons John and Daniel struck gold in the Sierras, then made a fortune selling dry goods to local miners and Native Americans. The town they established in the Sierra foothills still bears the family name of Murphys. Helen Murphy, the youngest daughter of Martin Sr., married Charles Maria Weber, the founder of the city of Stockton. Dennis Martin also struck gold in the Sierras and purchased ranch properties from the grantees of Rancho Canada de Raimundo and Rancho Corte Madera, which include much of the modern-day backlands of Stanford University, including the Stanford Linear Accelerator Center, Jasper Ridge Biological Preserve, the Ladera subdivision and the Webb Ranch. After financial misfortune and land disputes typical of the era, his lands were bought by Leland Stanford in November 1882. Dennis Martin died in June 1890 and was buried at the St. Denis Cemetery on his former property. Woodside's Dennis Martin Creek is named for him.